Hello girls. Last video we have seen profit planning and level of activity, right? Okay, this video we are going to see dropping a product line, introducing a new product line, sales mix decision, make or buy decision, and key limiting factors. Okay, and that is the third and the fourth one, that is dropping a product line and introducing a new product line. We will study together, girls. Okay. So for all the concepts, for all the points in the synopsis, we will follow the same statement of profit, girls. That is, sales minus variable cost will give you contribution, minus fixed cost will give you profit. Okay, now we will see one problem. So this problem 3 is relating to dropping a product line and introducing a new product line, girls. Now we will read the question. Okay, a manufacturer is thinking whether he should drop one item from his product line and replace it with another. So he's planning to drop one line, that is drop one product and replace it with another one. So can I say it is a dropping a product line and introducing a new product line, right? So below are his present cost and output data. So he has given some cost data. Okay, so we have the heading as product, price, variable cost per unit, and the next line you can see percentage of sales, right? This is also the heading, girls. Okay, that is product, price, variable cost per unit, and percentage of sales. Okay, so in that we have three products. One is bookshelf, tables, and beds. Okay, for price we have 60 rupees, 100 rupees, and 200 rupees. My price is nothing but selling price. Okay, next variable cost per unit. For bookshelf it is 40, for tables it is 60, and for beds it is 120 rupees. And percentage of sales is 30%, 20%, and 50%. So total fixed cost per year given is rupees 7,50,000, and the sales for the last year it is 26 lakhs. Okay, so total change under consideration consists in dropping the line of tables in favor of cabinets. So they are saying that we will try to drop the table. See, we have three products, right? One is bookshelf, table, and beds. So he's saying that we will drop the table. Instead of table, we will manufacture the cabinet. This is what he's saying here. Okay, if this dropping and change is made, the manufacturer forecasts the following cost and profit data. See, if this change has taken place, in the next line they have given the cost data, that is the estimated. Forecast is nothing but the estimation. Okay, forecast is given for the for that product cabinet. Okay, so here product they have given three things. One is bookshelf, cabinets, and beds. So if you see in the previous one, they have given you bookshelf, table, and beds. Here bookshelf, cabinet, and beds. So price we have 60, 160, and 200. Variable cost per unit is 40, 60, and 120, and percentage of sales is 50%, 10%, and 40%. So total fixed cost per year is rupees 7,50,000, and sales for this year it is 26 lakhs. So is this proposal to be accepted? So you have to give a comment for this. Okay, so whenever you have this kind of problems, girls, whether it can be either dropping a product line or introducing a product line, we should always start with the statement of profit. So we know statement of profit is nothing but sales minus variable cost will give you contribution, minus fixed cost will give you profit. Okay, so here we have to take the decision whether I have to drop the table or whether I have to accept the cabinet. Okay, see, whenever you're making any decision, it should be purely based on the contribution, girls. Okay, so whenever you're taking a decision, it should be purely based on the contribution. What is contribution? It is sales minus of your variable cost. So we should not consider fixed cost. So whenever you're taking a decision, fixed cost is irrelevant. We know the meaning of fixed cost, right? See, whether I produce a product, whether I don't produce a product, fixed cost is always constant. So when I'm taking a decision, we should not consider fixed cost. So we'll start the problem by doing two tables. One is that bookshelf, table, and beds, we will do one statement of profit, and then the second table is that bookshelf, cabinets, and bed, we will do another table, that is another statement of profit, and we will compare it and we will take the decision. Okay, now we will see the solution, girls. Now we will do the solution for problem 3, girls. So as I said earlier, we will do two statement of profit. One is for bookshelf, table, and bed. Okay, The another table, that is another table, I will do it for statement of profit for bookshelf, cabinets, and then beds. Okay, so we are doing two tables. So obviously we know statement of profit is nothing but sales minus variable cost will give me contribution. Okay, and we know that in the question total fixed cost, now you can see here, okay, total fixed cost they have given us 7,50,000. They did not give separately for bookshelf, tables and beds, but they have given the total as 7,50,000. Now we can't distribute this 7,50,000 among bookshelf, table and beds. Okay, we cannot do that. Okay, so instead I will write a total here. Okay, so since they have given me the total fixed cost, I'm going to write here the total. Otherwise we can directly after contribution we can minus with the fixed cost. Okay, so sales also they have given. Sales for the last year is how much? 26 lakhs. Okay, but for bookshelf it is only 30%, for tables it is 20%, and for beds it is 50%. So what we have to do is to 26 lakhs into 30%, 26 lakhs into 20%, and 26 lakhs into 50% is nothing but your sales. So we will calculate sales now. So it is 26 lakhs into 30%, you get 7,80,000. Okay, and then 26 lakhs into 20%, we get 5,20,000, and then for 50% it is 13 lakhs. So total it is 26 lakhs. Okay, so total it is 26 lakhs. Now we will calculate the variable cost. Now variable cost they have given in per unit. Okay, so how much? 40 rupees, 60 rupees and 120 rupees. But here we have written in value. So how do we calculate the variable cost value, girls? See, they have given you per unit here, but we should calculate the value. Okay, before going into this problem, I will teach you one concept, girls. Based on that concept, now we are going to do the variable cost per unit. Okay, so we will take one example. You are going to a shop, okay, and you are planning to purchase the calculators. Okay, so you are planning to purchase 100 calculators. So you are purchasing how many calculators? 100. So can I say 100 as a quantity? Right? So in other words, 100 is nothing but the unit. So I'm going to purchase 100 units of calculators. Okay, so the shopman is saying that per unit, that is the cost of the calculator is 150 rupees. Okay, that is cost of one calculator is 150 rupees. So can I say this as a per unit? Right, so each calculator value is 150. How many I'm planning to purchase? Total 100, which is nothing but the quantity, or in units we can express. So how much money you have to pay him? So the value you have to pay him is how much? 100 into 150, which is 15,000. So the total value which you have to pay him is 15,000. Understood this, girls? See, 100 units I'm going to say it as, okay, 100 I'm going to say it as units, 150 is nothing but per unit, and the value is 15,000 rupees. Okay, now this I'm going to write in a different way, that is 100 units, okay, into rupees 150, that will give me rupees 15,000. Okay, so this is units, this is per unit, and this is value. In case, okay, sorry, this is 150, girls. Okay, this is 150. Okay, so you don't know the value of this product, so but still we can calculate, right? It is value, that is 15,000 divided by 100, you get 150, which is nothing but value divided by units, you get per unit value. Okay, the same way for units. Okay, if you divide value with per unit, that is 15,000 divided by 150, you get 100 units. See, if any one of these figure missing, still we can calculate, that is value divided by per unit, I get my output, value divided by units, I get my per unit. If I multiply these two, I will get my value. Understood, right? So in this question also they have given you variable cost per unit. It means they have given you variable cost per unit. Okay, but I have to calculate the units, that is number of units, then only I can calculate the value. Understood this, right? So now we will go to the problem, girls. In the question, if you see, if you notice, they have given you 1 second, girls. Okay, so in the question, okay, they have given you selling price. Okay, so selling prices for bookshelf it is 60, for tables it is 100, and for beds it is 200. So I'm going to write the price next to the selling price. Okay, bookshelf it is 60 rupees. Okay, and for tables it is 100 they have given, and for bed they have given 200. So I have the value with me, I have the per unit, so it means I can calculate my number of units. Okay, I will calculate my number of units. How you can do that? I have my value, okay, and I have my per unit. So to calculate the number of units, what I will do? Value divided by per unit. The same concept I'm going to follow here, girls. So what is the value? It is 7,80,000 divided by 60. So I get 13,000 units. Okay, and then we have 5,20,000 divided by 100, you get 5,200 units. Okay, and then I have 13 lakhs with me, divided by 200, I have 6,500 units. Okay, understood, right? How to calculate the units? It is 7,80,000 divided by 60, you get 13,000 units. 5,20,000 divided by 100, you get 5,200 units, and 30 lakhs divided by 200, you get 6,500 units. So even if you multiply these two, you will get same. See, 13,000 into 60, you get 7,80,000. 5,200 into 100, you get 5,20,000. 6,500 into 200, you get 13 lakhs. Understood, right? Now it's easy for us to calculate the variable cost. See, I have variable cost per unit, I have the number of units. So if I multiply this variable cost per unit, that is 40, 60 and 120 with 13,000, 5,200 and 6,500, I get my variable cost. So how much is the variable cost per unit is 40. So 40 into 13,000. So you get 5,20,000. Okay, so the cost per unit is 40 here. So 40 into 13,000. Okay, next one is 60. So next is 60. 60 into 5,200, you get 3,12,000. Okay, and the last one is 120. So 120 into 6,500, you get 7,80,000. Okay, so the total is 5,20,000 plus 3,12,000 plus 7,80,000. So you get a total of 16,12,000. Okay, so contribution, if you want, you can do separately for bookshelf, table and bed, or directly you can minus 26 lakhs with 16,12,000. So if I minus this, I get 9,88,000. So I get 9,88,000. Obviously with this I will minus my fixed cost. How much is my fixed cost given in the question? 7,50,000. Okay, so if I minus this with 7,50,000, I get 2,38,000. Okay, so this is the profit. Okay, I am getting, okay, when I include the table. Okay, now we will see when I include the cabinet what will be the profit. But as I said earlier, decision making, we should always depend on the contribution. It's better we calculate contribution for each and everything. So 7,80,000 minus 5,20,000, you get 2,60,000 here. Okay, then 5,20,000 minus 3,12,000, you get 2,08,000. And then 13 lakhs minus of 7,80,000, you get 5,20,000. Okay, now we will do for cabinets, girls. So now we will do statement of profit for the cabinets, girls. Okay, so here they have given you product, bookshelf, cabinets and beds. Price they have given 60, 160, 200. Variable cost is 40, 60 and 120. Percentage of sales is 50%, 10% and 40%. See how we have done statement of profit for the tables, the same way we are going to do for cabinets. Okay, so as we know, the format is sales minus variable cost will give you contribution. Since they have given total fixed cost, total they have given, I'm going to add one more column, that is total. So sales percentages, for bookshelf it is 50%, for cabinets it is 10%, and for beds it is 40%, and the total sales given in the question, it is 26 lakhs. Okay, the same way it is 26 lakhs into 50%, obviously it is 13 lakhs. Okay, and then for 10%, it is 2,60,000, and then 40% it is 10,40,000. So the total of it is 26 lakhs. Okay, and they have given you cost per unit, right? It is 60, 160 and 200. 60, 160 and 200. So we have the value, we have the per unit. We have the value, we have the per unit. So how to calculate number of units? It is value divided by per unit. So 13 lakhs divided by 60, we get 21,667 units. Okay, and then if I divide 2,60,000 with 160, I get 1625 units. Okay, and then if I divide 10,40,000 divided by 200, yeah, it's 200, that is 5,200 units. So we calculated the units. So with this units, I will multiply my variable cost per unit. I will multiply my variable. So with the units, I will multiply my variable cost per unit, that is 40, 60 and 120. So it is 40, 60 and 120. So it is 21,667 into 40. You get 8,66,680, and then 1625 into 60. You get 97,500, and 5,200 into 120, you get 6,24,000. So the total of this is 6,24,000 plus 97,500 plus 8,66,680. So total you get 15,88,180. So if I minus this, I will get my contribution. How much? 26 lakhs. If I minus, I get 10,11,820. So with this I will minus my fixed cost. Fixed cost is 7,50,000 given in the question. So minus 7,50,000, it is 2,61,820. Okay, now we have calculated statement of profit for both girls, for tables as well as we calculated for cabinets. Okay, now we are going to take the decision. See, if I manufacture tables, my contribution is only 9,88,000. Okay, but if I manufacture cabinets, what happens? My contribution is 10,11,820. So which means it is more. Okay, now we will see even the profit, girls. See, if I manufacture table, okay, my profit is only 2,38,000. Okay, but if I manufacture a cabinet, I am getting a profit of 2,61,820. So obviously from this solution, we can easily understand I will manufacture the cabinet instead of table. So I can say the decision is that you can drop the table. You can drop producing the table. Okay, and you can start producing the cabinet because it is giving a higher profit. Okay, so how much? 2,38,000 minus 2,61,000, 2,38,000. So it is giving a higher profit of 23,820, which is nothing but 2,38,000 minus of 2,61,820, girls. Okay, for decision we will always depend on the contribution. See, even if we compare the profit also, obviously cabinets is having higher profit, so it's better to manufacture the cabinets than tables. That's it, girls. This is all about problem 3. So as usual, sales minus variable cost will give you contribution, and you should understand this concept, that is units into per unit will give you value. So to calculate number of units, it is value divided by per unit. To calculate the per unit, it is value divided by units. That's it. If you understand this concept, it's easy for you to do this problem 3. Okay, girls, now we will see one more problem in dropping the product line. Problem number 6.19. The following figures are extracted from the records of the company. So we have total 4 departments, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the last column is total. So all the values are given in thousands. Okay, so see the format, girls. It is sales minus cost. So direct material, direct labor, direct expenses, that will give you prime cost. And overheads, we have 2 overheads. One is variable, the other one is the fixed. And the total cost is nothing but variable cost plus fixed cost, right? Okay, and the last one is the profit and loss. Okay, so we have profit for first first department the profit is 23, for second department the profit, so we are having a loss of 3, and the third department we have a profit of 9, and fourth department we have a profit of 21. So the total profit is 50. Okay. On the basis of the above information, the management is inclined to discard department 2. What will be your advice to the management? Okay, so he's saying that it's better we should discard department 2. Okay, because it is giving a loss, right? So he's saying that we have to remove department 2. So he's asking whether it is this advice is good or not for the company. Okay, first we will do the same thing with the format, girls, because they have given us prime cost, all those stuff, but we are not going to do in that format. Our format is sales minus variable cost will give you contribution, minus fixed cost will give you the profit or a loss. So, and we know that we take decision based on the marginal cost, which is nothing but the contribution, that is sales minus marginal cost will give you contribution. So we will see the solution now, girls. So we have 4 departments, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the sales given is 100, 200, 300, 400, and the total is 1000. And we have variable cost, they have given you material, labor, expenses, okay, and variable overhead is also there. Overheads they have given us variable overhead and fixed overhead. Obviously under variable cost, variable overhead will also come. So these are the values, and your contribution is 28, 7, 14, 25, and the total is 74. Minus fixed cost is given in the question, 5, 10, 5, 4 and 29. Okay, sorry, 24. So if you minus these two, I get my profit. This is there in the question, girls. 23 I'm just doing in our statement of profit format. That's it. That is the difference between the question and this solution. Okay, so 23 minus 3, which is nothing but a loss of 3 in department 2, and department 3 we have a profit of 9, and department 4 we have a profit of 21. Okay, if you want, it's better we calculate even PV ratio, girls. With the help of PV ratio also we can take the decision. Okay, now we will see. Now he's saying that if I discard department 2, whether it is good for the company or bad for the company. This is what the question is, right? Now we will try to eliminate department 2. See, I have done only for 1, 3 and 4. Okay, so sales is how much, girls? It is 100, 300, 400, because 2 I have removed. So I'm writing only for department 1, 3 and 4. Variable cost, material, labor, expenses and variable overhead. So you have a contribution of 28, 14 and 25. So the total is 67, and the fixed cost is 24. I am getting a profit of 43. My fixed cost, yeah, we can write the same thing here, 5, 10, 5, 4, right? So instead 5. And one more thing, yes, fixed cost will never change. Whether you're producing, as I said earlier, whether I'm producing a product, whether I'm eliminating any product, or whether I'm not producing any product, your fixed cost will not change. That is the reason I have written the entire 24. See, here we have 24, right? Whether I keep department 2 or whether I remove department 2, my fixed cost is always 24. So if I remove this, I will get 43. And another important point, fixed cost is irrelevant to take the decision. So 24, so I will not change my fixed cost. My profit is 43. So if I don't remove department 2, my profit is 50. If I remove department 2, my profit is 43. Obviously my profit has been reduced. Now tell me, girls, whether I have to remove department 2 or not. Obviously I should not remove department 2, because here we are getting the profit less only because of the fixed cost. Okay, but comparatively our contribution and our variable cost is good enough. That gives us a good profit. Only because of the fixed cost only it is showing us less, see here the fixed cost is more here. Because of that, or because of this only, we are getting a loss of 3. Otherwise we are getting a equal good contribution when compared to department 1, 3 and 4. So if the solution, what I can say is that if you try to reduce the fixed cost, then we can compensate the profit for department 2 as well. So the final conclusion is that, girls, we should not eliminate department 2, because see here the profit is 50, here the profit is 43. Okay, only because of the fixed cost my department 2 is getting a loss of 3. So if I reduce my fixed cost, I will compensate the profit. That's it. This is all about dropping a product line, girls. So the next in the synopsis is sales mix decision, girls. It's very easy. Okay, so I will do only one problem. The other problem I'll give you as an assignment. Similar problem, you can just cut, copy, paste. That's it. You should just understand what it is. That's it. Okay, so now see the problem 6.16. From the following information, you are required to calculate and present the marginal product cost and contribution per unit. Second one is state which of the alternative sales mix you would recommend to management and why. What is the reason? Okay, selling, in the question they have given two products, one is X, the other one is Y. Okay, and then we have selling price per unit. They have given you direct material per unit, and they have given you direct wages. So see here girls, direct wages, how did they give you? It is 24 hours and 16 hours. Okay, they have given in hours basis. So earlier we saw, right, quantity, units, hours, that is all similar girls, but normally everything should be in rupees, but here he has given in hours. But he has given some other information, that is rupees 0.25 per hour and rupees 0.25 per hour. So it's very simple, 24 hours divided by into 0.25, it is nothing but units into per unit, right? Same thing, 24 hours into 0.25, you will get the value. 16 hours into 0.25, you will get the value. You remember, right? Units into per unit will give you the value. Same way here, hours into per hour will give you the value. Okay, see the next line, fixed overhead given is 720. Okay, variable overhead is 150% of direct wages. See, apart from direct material and direct wages, we have one more, that is variable overhead, 150% of direct wages. So whatever value we get the direct wages, right, into 150% we have to do. Okay, and alternative sales mix are given. Okay, A, 250 units of X and 250 units of Y, and B, nil units of X and 4 units of Y, and C, it is 400 units of X and 100 units of Y. This is the question they have given you. Okay, and same format we will follow, that is sales minus variable cost will give you contribution, minus fixed cost will give you the profit. So if you see here, fixed overhead, they did not give separately for X and Y, so it means we will add another column, that is nothing but the total. Okay, now we will see the solution, girls. Now we will see the solution for problem 6.16, girls. So as usual, we will start with the statement of product. We have two products, X and Y, and the sales given is 25 per unit and 20 per unit. Okay, and variable cost, under that we have direct material. So your direct material is rupees 8 and rupees 6, and your direct wages, how we have to calculate, it is 24 hours into 0.25, you get 6. 16 hours into 0.25, you get rupees 4. And variable overhead, they said it is 150% of direct wages, right? So your direct wages is 6 into 150% we get 9, and then 4 into 150% we get 6. So if I minus 25 with these three, 20 with these three, I get my contribution per unit as rupees 2 and rupees 4. Okay, so in this question we have three alternatives, sales mix. Okay, alternative 1, alternative 2 and alternative 3. Okay, alternative 1 says that 250 units of X and 250 units of Y. Okay, first is contribution, I'm writing here, since we have three alternatives, right? From here I'm taking contribution. Okay, so 250 units of X is how much? X is rupees 2. So 250 into 2, we get 500. And 250 units of Y, he said. Y is how much? It is 4. So 250 into 4, we get 1000. So the total is 1500. And the second alternative, they said for X it is nil, and for Y it is 400. For Y it is 400, right? So 400 into Y is how much? 4. 1600. And the third alternative is 400 units for X. So 400 into 2 is 800, and 100 units for Y. So 100 into Y is how much? 4. So 400. So total we get 1200. And fixed cost. Now this is separate alternatives. Okay, see, we are doing see, as I said, fixed cost, they have given the total, right? We have to minus with the total. So X and Y units I'm adding, this is the total. With this only I'm minusing the fixed cost. Since we have three alternatives, for three alternatives we will minus the fixed cost. Okay, so 1500 minus 750, we get a profit as 750. And then 1600 minus 750, we get a profit of 850. And then 1200 minus 750, we are getting a profit of 450. Okay, in the sales mix, girls, we have to take decision based on the profit. Okay, remember this, in sales mix we have to take decision based on the profit. So for first alternative it is 750, for second alternative it is 850, and for the third alternative it is 450. So obviously the highest profit is in second alternative. So we have to choose second alternative, girls. That's it. So this is all about your sales mix. This is more than enough. I will give you one similar problem. You just practice that problem. That is enough, girls. Okay. So what we have to do, we have to calculate the statement till contribution per unit, and with the help of the contribution per unit, just calculate the alternatives that they have given in the question. Multiply that with that, you minus the fixed cost where the profit is more. Okay, that is the best option we have to choose. That's it, guys. This is all about your problem 6.16 and sales mix as well. So next in the synopsis is make or buy decision, girls. It's very simple. Okay, we will see the question. Based on the question, we will see the solution. Illustration 4. An automobile manufacturing company finds that the cost of making part number 208 in its own shop is rupees 6. Okay, manufacturing a product in his own shop is rupees 6. The same part is available in the market for 5.60. Okay, see, make or buy decision, girls. As the name says, make. See, if I make that product, what will be my cost, or if I purchase from the outside, what will be my cost? That is what the actual concept of this. Okay, so where the cost is less, okay, cost in simple words, can I say expenses, girls? Where my expenses is less, obviously I will choose that. So now we are going to compare make or buy decision. So in the question he is saying that if I make a product, I am getting a cost of 6 rupees. If I purchase from outside, I am getting a cost of 5.60. Okay, with an assurance of continuous supply. The cost data to make the part are: material is 2, direct labor is 2.50, other variable overhead is 0.50, fixed cost allocated is 1 rupee. So total we are getting 6 rupees. This is the cost they have given you. Okay, so the question is that should the part be made or bought? Meaning, should I manufacture that product or should I buy it from the outside supplier? Okay, second one is that will your answer be different if the market price is 4.60? See, earlier the market price is 5.60. Now you're saying that if the market price is 4.60, your answer will change or not? This is the question they have given you, girls. Okay, see, in make or buy decision, we have to ignore fixed cost. That's it. Okay, in make or buy decision, we have to ignore fixed cost. Now see the statement, girls. Material they have given you 2, direct labor they have given you 2.50, other variable cost they have given you 0.50, and we have to eliminate fixed cost, meaning we should not total the fixed cost. Now we will see the solution, girls. Okay, so illustration 4, make or buy decision. So first subdivision, they are saying that whether you have to make the product or buy the product, right? So to make, okay, so total variable cost is how much? Material is 2 rupees, direct labor is 2.50, and variable cost is 50 paise. As I said, we should ignore fixed cost. So your total is 5 rupees. So to make a product, my cost is 5 rupees, and to buy from the outside supplier, my cost is 5.60. So obviously we know where the expenses is less, there only you will go. So obviously instead of buying, I will make the product, because if I buy the product, I will get a loss of 60 paise, girls. For 1 unit, if I get 60 paise as a loss, just imagine if I produce thousands of products. So it goes in numbers. So it's better to make the product. So your conclusion is that the company should continue to make the part if its market price is 5.60. Okay, making results in a savings of 0.60, which is 5.60 minus 5. So if I make the product, I have a savings of 60 paise. But if I purchase a product, I will have a loss of 60 paise. This is part 1, girls. Okay, now see the part B. They are saying that if the market price is 5.60, will your answer be change? Obviously my answer will change, because to make a product it is 5 rupees, and to buy a product it is 4.60. So obviously if I purchase, I can save 40 paise. If I make the product, I will lose 40 paise. So the company should buy because it saves rupees 40 paise, which is 5 minus of 4.6. That's it, girls. This is all about your make or buy decision. The only concept you should know is that you should ignore fixed cost. Okay, so this buy they will give, that is in the question they will tell you how much he is purchasing from the outside supplier. Only thing you have to calculate is the variable cost. Just calculate the total variable cost, compare this with the purchase. Okay, compare this total with the purchase, and then take decision. Okay, so here we should not see the highest. because we are comparing the cost is nothing but the expenses. See, earlier problem we were comparing the profit. We can't say that where the profit is less, that is good for the company. No, we can't say that. Where the profit is more, obviously it's good for the company. But here we are comparing the cost. So where the cost is less, obviously we have to take that as a decision. That's it, girls. This is all about your make or buy decision. I will give you a similar problem as an assignment thing. Okay, you do that, you will understand with the concept. This is more than enough, girls. The last one in your synopsis is a key factor or limiting factor, girls. So for this, your decision is purely based on the contribution. Okay, so how do you calculate contribution? Sales minus of your variable cost. That's it. It's purely based on the contribution. Now see the question, illustration 1. The following particulars are obtained from the records of a company manufacturing two products P and R. Okay, product P and product R they have given per unit, selling price they have given, material cost they have given, direct wages, variable overhead they have given. So total fixed overhead is 10,000. Comment on profitability for each product where production capacity in hours is a limiting factors. So he's saying that the limiting factor we have to calculate on the basis of hours, girls. There are two limiting factors. Now one we have to calculate on the basis of hours, the other one we have to calculate on the basis of the kgs. Okay, this problem we will see on the basis of hours. Okay, we'll see the solution, girls. So this is the solution, girls. So particulars, product P and product R. So they have given per unit, selling price is 200 and 400, minus your variable cost they have given in the question is 40, direct wages is 60, 120, and variable overhead is 20 and 40. So your contribution per unit, which is nothing but 200 minus of these, you get 80, 400 minus of these, you get 140. Okay, in the question they said the limiting factor is in hours. So first we have to calculate number of hours to produce. So number of hours required to produce is P is equals to 60. Okay, hours obviously we will give for the wages, right? That is the laborers, right? See, total direct wages we are given is 60 and 120. So total number is 60, and for R it is 120. Okay, and in the question they said direct wages is ₹6 per hour. Okay, so total direct wages is 60 and 120 for P and R, which is 60 and 120, and in the question they said direct wages is ₹6 per hour. So per hour, right? So we are dividing by 6. So divide by 6 and divided by 6, so you get 10 hours and 20 hours, meaning 10 hours to produce product P and 20 hours to produce product R. Okay, so now since the limiting factor is based on hours, right? So what is the contribution? It is 80 divided by 10. How did you get this 10? From here. Okay, and then for a product R it is 140 divided by 20. So how did you get this 20? It is 20 hours. So you get 8 and 7. So where the contribution is more, that one we have to select. Okay, the contribution per hour you are getting is 80 when compared to product R. Now we'll see the conclusion, girls. Product P with contribution per hour of rupees 8 is better than product R with rupees per 7 per hour contribution. Okay, product B is recommended for production. So this is all about product decision, girls. So we discussed profit planning, level of activity, dropping and introducing a new product line, sales mix decision, make or buy decision, and key limiting factors. So I will send you separate assignment questions. Try to work out that. So in that way you can understand easily this unit 5, girls. And the part 1, that is introduction and pricing decision, it's purely theory. I will send you a separate video, ma.